everyone. My name is Kim Jardim. I work with the town of Silverthorne, and I'm here today with our mayor, Anne-Marie Sandquist. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Kim. Thanks for having me.
So we're here today to touch base with our community. It's been a while since we've talked with you, and we wanted to talk about how we're several months into this pandemic, and we see people within our community having pandemic fatigue, and I don't know if you would agree with that or not, Mayor.
Oh, I definitely will. I'm seeing it a lot, amongst our community members, and it's been a long time. I think we're all kind of tired of always wearing our masks and being careful and just not feeling as comfortable as we'd like to in our community. I definitely am seeing that a lot. So.
I would agree. It's really as important now as it's ever been to be vigilant. With the days getting shorter and the weather getting colder, we're going to be spending more time inside. What would be some of the guidance that you would give our community about why it's so important to be vigilant right now?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. I mean, obviously we want to protect our, the vulnerable members of our community and keep our entire community healthy. Mm-hmm. We also want to be able to keep our businesses open and be able to have a ski season and keep our community running. And then we also want to keep our kids in school. I think we all agree that being able to have our kids in school is important, for mental health, for their activity. I think all of this is very important, and we want to send a little reminder out to everybody that you've got to stay vigilant. I know it's been a long time, but we just have to stay sharp and paying attention to things.
Right, I would agree. So there are ways we can do that, and our community messaging from all of the municipalities and our county has been the 6 commitments to containment. Can you talk about those a little bit and what they are?
Sure, and they're posted on the county's website, but as a reminder, and they're pretty simple, you want to wear a mask, wash your hands, maintain 6 feet of distance. We're 6 feet apart. If you're sick, stay home. And if you're sick, get a COVID test. And then finally, get a flu shot. And pretty simple. I know we've all been doing it, but we need to continue to maintain those and keep our commitments to that.
So the 6th commitment to containment is to get a flu shot. And it's incredibly important this year, as it is many years, but even more so this year because the symptoms for flu are so similar to COVID. And if we can rule out the flu, then we'll have a better chance of identifying COVID-19. So there's that. And then there's also another great reason.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to have our hospitals and healthcare system kind of overrun with flu patients. So if you can get a flu shot, I know we all sometimes feel a little lousy after that, but and we're not getting sick, then they can focus more on our COVID patients, and we aren't overrunning the healthcare system. So I think that's important as well to get it.
That is really important. So let's talk about the stress of this pandemic for a little bit. I know that it's been tough for everyone, and I see it in our community when I do leave the house. And I've noticed that people are tense and short and irritable. It's a really tough time, and we are all in this together. I guess that's one comfort in knowing that we're all in this together.
Misery loves company.
Yes, and so what are some of the things that you do that helps you to relieve stress over these last several months?
For me, it's getting outside. If I'm outside, then getting some fresh air, getting some exercise, getting away from just kind of constantly be reminded of it and that type of thing. A little bit of normalcy in my life. That's one of the things that works the best for me is being outside and spending time with the boys and just and my friends where I can. So being outside, I think, is pretty important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the wonderful thing about this community that we live in is the outdoors hasn't closed.
Right.
It's one of the few things that has remained open these several months. So you can always get outside, whether you're active or not. Just get out and get a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It really does wonders for you.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is trying to stay connected to, my friends and family and in our community. And, even if I'm not seeing people in person, which I definitely miss, but I'm not doing that as much. But, just kind of reaching out periodically and, sending a quick text and, checking in on my friends, especially if I haven't heard from them in a couple of days, and making sure that everybody's feeling okay. And I am not one who's going to, reach out if I'm feeling kind of blue. And so I appreciate it when my friends reach out to me as well and just be like, "Hey, are you doing okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm kind of down. Let's talk." And so I think we have to be really vigilant on that and staying in touch with friends and family and in our community. Because, if we can't be in person, then we need to reach out in other ways.
Absolutely. Back in the spring, I was doing FaceTime with friends
Yep.
when we were all in lockdown. And I think we're getting back to that time with these shorter days
Yeah.
in colder months when we need to be inside, that we connect. And that's really, really important. And it has been incredibly important to me to get outside. I've never ridden my bike so much as I have this spring, summer, and fall. And it's one of the few things that I can do outside, and it's been wonderful. It really is helpful for your brain and your body. For those of you that are still struggling, please remember that Building Hope Summit County is a wonderful resource for mental health assistance. They're an incredible organization,
Yeah,
doing
sure.
incredible things. So always know that there's always help there. And, I think just small acts of kindness too are a wonderful thing. I brought flowers to my neighbor the other day, and he said, "Well, what are these for?" And I said, "Just because." Happy fall. It's just nice to reach out. You just don't know what the people around you are going through. And if we can all just be kind to one another, then, this will be, we'll get through this together.
Agreed. And I think, those kind of, like you said, flowers to your neighbor, that's awesome. And I'm sure he appreciated it. And I was going to say, I know we're wearing masks and it's kind of hard to smile. I think nobody sees you when you smile, but a quick hello. And, I've noticed every time I go into the post office, I used to smile at people when I'd pass them or whatever. And everybody's kind of walking around with their head down. And I'm trying hard to make eye contact with people, even people I don't know, and just a quick hi, or have a good day, and just reach out. I think you'll brighten somebody's day even if you don't know them. So just take that extra step, and it'll actually brighten your day too. I always feel better when I've tried to reach out and touch somebody. So
Absolutely. So to our community and our guests, our residents, visitors, please be kind to one another, and we will get through this. And thank you so much for listening with us today. And thank you so much for being here, Mayor Sandquist.
Yep. Thanks, Kim. Thanks,
you.
everybody.